Hello, this is the front stoop of our West Side Avenue apartment where Aunt Loretta has lived for the last 48 years and where I am living now. And this is the view from our front stoop. And I'm going to take a brisk walk around the neighborhood here to show you a couple things. I love a brisk walk around the block in the morning. It's fantastic. Feels good. This is on the corner here. This is the West Side Brokerage. This gentleman is very, very friendly. His wife, gentleman and his wife, they're wonderful, wonderful people. They're of Middle Eastern heritage, and they have been very, very kind to Aunt Loretta. And they're beautiful people. Beautiful people. They have been extremely helpful to Aunt Loretta for many, many years. And they're good friends, and they're wonderful, wonderful public servants because they help the people of the neighborhood here with a lot of things. Across the street here, this is the Pavonia Marion Municipal Pool. We're in the Marion section of Jersey City on the corner of Pavonia Avenue. And this pool here is open during the summer months, and it is jam-packed. I can tell you that. It is jam-packed every day during the summer. And then over here we have a soccer field, children's soccer. It's actually the West Side Little League field, but they don't play baseball anymore. They play soccer constantly. And it's the Mike Martucci Senior Memorial Field. And almost every single day, the kids are here. The kids are here playing all day long. Soccer is very, very popular in the neighborhood. And right over here, this is only half a block from our apartment. Right over there, where that iron fence is, that is the famous West Side Marion section library. It's the library branch. It's the branch of the Jersey City Public Library, and they have in their it's a children's wing of the library, and it's all children's books in there, and little children go there every day, and they avail themselves of all the great literature. Oh, by the way, one more thing. Right down here at that corner, this is the famous Fox Place. You may have heard of it. There's a fantastic restaurant, a fantastic Italian restaurant that everybody goes to. It's pretty damn exclusive. It's called 15 Fox Place, and it's right up this block. That's how close it is to me. One block down. And it's right across the street over there in that White House behind those trees. So, you've seen the soccer field. You've seen the children's wing of the Jersey City Public Library, which is right here. And now, it's another block up. this is our apartment right here. It's our windows. It's the living room windows. And this corner here, by the way, this is the doorway I've showed you in a previous video of 1041 West Side Avenue. That's where Aunt Sharice and Aunt Loretta and her family lived for decades before moving a few doors down that way. This is the doorway to 1041. This used to be Cat's hardware store. It is now a laundromat. And this is Marion Place. That building there is 2 Marion Place. Probably the second most significant building in my childhood after 1041 West Side Avenue. 1041 was where Aunt Sharice and Aunt Loretta lived, and 2 Marion Places where another sister lived. One of my mother's 5 sisters lived up there in those windows there at 2 Marion Place. That's my Aunt Ida and my cousins and my Uncle Benny, and everybody lived up there. That's where we had many, 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 many Thanksgiving dinners. Many of them in the 1960s. Many Thanksgiving dinners. And my Aunt Ida, by far, made the best turkey stuffing on Thanksgiving that I've ever had in my life. And to this very day, none has equaled her stuffing. I love Aunt Ida's stuffing. I have never had the same quality stuffing since, and I don't think I will ever, ever have that stuffing again. On the corner there's Rosselli's hair studio, but back in the 60s and 70s, that was a fish market. And Helen and Joe, who lived there and owned the fish market, they were very good friends with my family, and Aunt Loretta was best friends with Helen for many, many, many decades until Helen passed away just a few years ago. And that fish market was where we used to hang out all the time. All the time. Fresh fish right there. Again, 2 Marion Place, where my Aunt Ida and her family lived, and the greatest turkey stuffing on Thanksgiving I've ever had in my life and I ever will have was right up there behind those windows. Morning. Good to see you. One of my many friends in the Marion neighborhood just said hello. This is the basketball courts. It has 4 baskets, and this thing is populated every single day of the week, all year long, except when there's snow on the ground. Very, very popular among the kids and the young people in the neighborhood. How you doing? This is the Cosmo Gussie DeSanto Memorial Playground. It's actually a basketball court. There's a children's playground with some swings over there in the corner. A lot of grass over there. Very, very popular. This is the staple of the neighborhood. This is jam-packed all day long, every day of the year. They're advertising a homecoming gala at St. Aloysius Church here. And I want to show you this. We're coming up to the corner of Broadway. I took you there at a previous video where Villa Capri used to be and Puccini's is now, where it's closed. But this building here, this is now a liquor store. However, in the 1960s, I remember clearly, it was the very famous LaSalle Club. This is where all the old men in the neighborhood used to hang out. It was the old man's club. I remember standing out here and watching all the guys hanging out here all the time, smoking their big cigars. And this is the place where all the men from the Marion section would gather and hang out in the 1960s. The LaSalle Club. I loved that. Loved watching the guys coming in and out of there with their big fat cigars. Loved it. That's a West Indian American grocery store. That's the old Schifano's candy store, which is now Barinquin Corner. And there's Natalie's Deli and Grocery Store right on the corner, which I've mentioned in another video. And that's the neighborhood. I like walking around. This is the neighborhood where I spent my childhood in the 1960s. And this is where Aunt Loretta has lived for the past 48 years in that apartment, and in decades at 1041 West Side Avenue. Basketball courts, the West Side Laundromat, 2 Marion Place, the former fish market, which is now a hair studio. And this is the pool. That's the Pavonia Marion pool, right behind that fence. And I want to show you one more last thing. The city of Jersey City is promoting very aggressively the United States Census Project in 2020. And they have these banners up all over the city advertising the census because it's so very important. You have to count every single person, and where I work in Bergen County, we're putting a focus on it as well. So this is very important, the 2020 census. And there's 1041 West Side Avenue, the apartment where I spent in the 1960s, my childhood, right up there, those 3 windows. And right over there is where Aunt Loretta has lived for the last 48 years, where I'm living now. Right there, in those windows. That's our door. Okay. Just wanted to have a morning walk around the neighborhood and show off some memories and some cool stuff. See you soon.